The Denver Nuggets are 2-1, and they have an incredible offense right now. Nobody can stop them, and thanks in part because of how they stack plays together to disguise action so they can get multiple looks out of them. We're going to go into the tape and check that out, as well as a bunch of other details from the first three games. First thing we're going to look at is one of Denver's new sets. This was the first set they ran against the Phoenix Suns, and you're going to see the basis of this is basically getting the ball to Jokic isolated here, and you're essentially going to run a double pin down for Jamal coming off of the double screen. That's the initial setup of the action. But what I like here is you have a shooter, you have a big, and you have a guard. This is very hard to switch. So the defense is anticipating Murray coming off of this action here. And as you play, Aaron Gordon is going to slip. You see that the defense wants to switch out and to switch off. Aaron Gordon's going to slip, which sucks the defender in and opens up Cam Johnson. As he slips, Dillon Brooks takes him. Cam Johnson's wide open. If we rewind that just a little bit and watch it play out again, watch it again and how confused the defense gets. Jokic never misses the read. Cam Johnson knocks down the shot. On the very next play, we're going to try it again. Very similar look, very same play design. This time they go kind of set it up just to get Jokic in the post, and we're back to our same action. But this time, the defense is like, okay, we know what happens here. They're going to come off this double screen again, but Aaron Gordon Cam Johnson's open. This time you get Aaron Gordon on the slip. So the team makes one adjustment, they go to the next one. Denver then runs it a third time, and you see a different defense. This time they're going to switch the initial action. They jam him on the screen here. They switch this action, so they're a little more prepared. And I actually think Jamal should have just run off of this one. But Denver kind of gets confused here. The read actually probably would have been AG for the three as he flares out. Instead, Denver just gets into the two-man game. And you know what? It's always nice when you can default to the two-man game. You still get a switch. You still get Jokic inside. And as a result, you get a second shot, which is all you could ask for. Denver gets two decent looks out of this one possession. Here, Murray gets a mildly contested three, misses it. But that's the same play three times. Denver gets an action out of it. Here's a very similar but different setup now that Denver is running in the same game. Same thing here. This is their rip DHO action, one of their most common plays. Murray kind of cut through and set a back screen so that Aaron Gordon can go for the lob. This is very difficult for teams because they don't want to switch this action. They want to keep their defenders on Jamal. They want to keep their matchup here. And you could see what I love about this play is Murray sets them up as they switch this. So you'll see that Murray sets this up great. They switch the action, but now you have the defender on the high side trying to take away the curl. Murray reads it, backdoors, and what do you get? A shot at the rim. Murray never misses this. Aaron Gordon even gets a second chance. They don't make it, but it's an A-plus look for Denver. Run the action the exact same time. Now that they've seen it, what do you get? Wide open dunk. Teams try to adjust. Denver has counters on top of counters, and their main three guys know how to read all of them. Best dunk of the year comes off of this action. Now you're going to see a different one. It looks awfully similar. You're still in the horns formation, two guys in the corner, two guys on the elbow, a guy up top. But what you're getting here is a double screen for Murray to dribble off of. And so you get low, you get this double screen, you get what I like is you fake pop fake roll Aaron Gordon. And then you'll see Aaron Gordon here. Fake like he's rolling and then pops out. And what that does is drag the defender down. This defender who showed on Murray to trap to keep him from getting a screen thinks he has to recover to the basket. You get it to Jokic, 2 on the ball. Easy shot for Aaron Gordon. He knocks it down. Now you're going to run the exact same option, slightly different. Instead of running the pick and roll, they're going to enter to Jokic and make it a handoff this time. Same exact thing, though. Double screen. Murray's coming off. And what I love, same thing as the play before, you get Murray looking like he's going to come off. So his defender here, Royce O'Neal, is prepared for Murray to run off of this one. Murray sees it and instead flares out and has enough time to take a dribble and get into a shooting motion. So Denver's running 2 plays 6 times and getting great looks every single time because they know themselves so well. Another play I love, and David Adelman talked about this, oftentimes your pick and roll option is your big. Well, sometimes you want to put somebody in the pick and roll who's not used to guarding the pick and roll as the screener. Enter Colin Gillespie. You like the idea of making him have to play the big man's role of showing and then recovering. They're just going to switch. P-Watt gets into space, and your big man is tied to your offensive rebounder in Big Val. This is a very difficult place for the big man to be in. Do you step up and give up the lob, or do you stay connected? He elects to kind of play in between, and as a result, he winds up on a poster. David Adelman said he wants to use guards more in this screening action, and you can see why. This is a play that Christian Braun's going to have to start making. He gets 2 screens from Nikola Jokic. The first one, the defender goes way under, so you rescreen a little bit lower, and the defender's going to go under again. You have to be able to hit this shot off of the catch. Christian misses this one pretty bad. In the playoffs, the Nuggets got a steady diet of Christian Braun getting this exact look where teams went way under. This is why some threes are more important than others. This is one of the threes that's going to determine Denver's playoff success because teams will choose to go under on Christian Braun and dare him to shoot those. One thing I love that the Nuggets are doing a lot more of is using every player in screens, including Cam Johnson, especially in transition, and you're going to see why. The big has to step up. Do they switch this? As you see right here, the big thinks he doesn't want to switch because they need a big body on Jokic. Cam Johnson floats into space, and he's wide open. You ran one pick and roll, inverted pick and roll with Cam Johnson, and you get a wide open shot. You're going to see it here. This gives Jokic a little running start. The defender has to stay with Jokic, and as a result, you get a wide open 3. He hasn't been hitting these, but the fact that you're getting wide open shots off of one screen is very encouraging. Same thing here. You're going to see how they try to wall him off, but this compromises the defense so that when he slips into space, this guy has to rotate over, and now you're guarding 3 players with 2 on the backside. Swing, wide open 3 for Aaron Gordon. Even though it doesn't go, this is great process that Denver can run over and over again. There's really no solution to. Not just Cam Johnson, in transition, Tim Hardaway. Then you get him in open space and you get a foul. Denver has basic actions they can run and get open looks. Here's Tim Hardaway again. You get Jokic getting momentum, sucks the defense in. And what I love about this, because the defender had to show on this screen, had to step out, now he's buried. Jokic has him in the restricted area. That's just baby food. These types of basic actions generate open looks for Denver. Tim Hardaway Jr. again. Get him in transition. And then Jokic gets a running start at the basket. He misses this one, but he doesn't miss that shot very often. You still like that look for Jokic, and it's very easy. How about Bruce Brown? Screen. They have to try to go under this one, and it opens up for a wide open 3 for Jokic, which he drains. So using everybody on the roster can become a screener. Now, those are transition. Here's just in the flow of offense. You ran something, it didn't work. Well, you still can get that screen. Gobert goes way under, which gives Jokic all the room to kind of get into his bag against Gobert. Let's look at Peyton Watson's defense and the impact he makes here, just having his length. We talk about stunting one pass away. Here he stunts over, and now he has to cover an enormous amount of ground from a shooter. He is by far the best at this because of his length. He's able to recover and contain and force the turnover, and this is why he's so valuable. You don't always notice that he's the one making these impacts, but his athleticism and length take shots away. Transition, he's able to get back, guard 2-on-1, and get the ball out of bounds. Here we get a transition when he has to match up with Dante DiVincenzo, who tries to ISO. This is a pivotal point in the game, 104-101. Look at that contest. Makes that for a very difficult shot. You get a stop on a play that could have swung the other direction. And then I love this one, the play of the night defensively. Jaden McDaniels is cooking. Put Peyton Watson on him. Get out of here. He has been an incredibly effective defender, and Denver needs his athleticism and length. It's different, especially with him playing in the gaps. It's different having his ability to show and cover so much space, still contest the shot, and still guard a multitude of players. It's so valuable to Denver, and he's a different type of defender than what Denver has on the roster. That was the list. Let me know what you think about Denver stacking plays, Peyton Watson's defense, or these inverted screens. That's what stood out to me in week 1. What stood out to you?